Good morning. Does anybody really know where home is? Every single night. Well, not every single night. Don't think that I'm a psychopath. But every single night I go to bed and I say the same thing. Praise the Lord from the north, the east, the west, and the south. Give me the news. And the only reason I ask these is, first of all, when I first became ill and I was in the hospital, I was all alone. There's no one to trust in this world other than what you have a better understanding for as the truth. And that is the only place trust will come from. It's not a person, it's not a place, or a thing, it's something inside of us. Understanding the specific difference between people before you know whether or not you can believe the words they speak. So now breaking it down to someone who's schizophrenic, to what they hear, do they want to hear, which breaks it down to anxiety and not understanding this world. There's too much traffic, we have anxieties, we have, anyways, to bring this on is the dream I had last night talked about this, okay? Talked about this. Human. Man. Beam. Bum. Bomb. Mean. Mon. Day. Home. Om. Mental reality, the cannabis anxiety. The light, the ACVE. The have light. The cave light, the caveman, human home light. It was all about communication with 512. What is 512? 12 creates 5. 12 is creation. 12 is 6 and 6, 12. Two areas of half-life, of half-light, coming from a greater area, bringing the two together in this body. I have to speak more about this because I need for you to understand that 5 and 9 have a numerological value, okay, a simple value, okay, of 42, which creates 66. When you come to speaking in gematria, okay, the same 66 shows up over here. S-U-H-F. She. 1 and 2, 1 and 9. 1 and 2, 1 and 9. 1 and 2. 12 doesn't even show up because 12 is the half-life. It's 12 o'clock. The reverse of 12 is 12 and 12, which creates 3 and 3, which creates 180, 180, 360. That's why we have to go to the left and the right of 12. It starts at 921. Becomes 69, becomes 15, 21, 09, 69, 15, 21, 36, 33, 360 location. 21 or 3 times 60, 180. And 9 times 60, the total is 12, 720. So the only 720 that you'll see in this is your birth, 912. 180 and 90. 18 and 9. 27, the big red sun of the Har, H-A-R, the world we come into. H, 6, A, 1 is 7, R, 5. 12. 6 and 6, 12. 8 and 3, 12. 7 and 5, G and E, the moon, 12. 11 and 1, 1, 1, 1. 35, 37, 39. Win a big red sun, number 73. The cube, 7 times 3, 21. 7 and 3, 10. Becomes 16 and 21, 37 again. Win a big red sun. Where are we from without the memory of yesterday? The momentary thought means nothing, because then death is upon us every moment of time if you keep forgetting. I don't know you. Imagine meeting someone you don't know, and I don't remember this. Complete Alzheimer's? Is that what it is? Alzheimer's is a non-functioning disease. Let's say that we can't remember anything. Therefore, when we cross the street, how can we know if there's cars coming if we don't remember if they ever came before? How do we know? How do we know if we don't run the life as a basic noun instead of verbs and adverbs and adjectives in between? There is a road. What do? I can't do anything. I don't know adjectives and adverbs because different vibrations of understanding, different numerics. So I come back into here. Okay, well, we're on the wrong page now. B-E-A-M, beam. Change the O to a bomb, B-O-M. I restart the word because it's a continuous beam. It continues on. Inside the air you don't see, inside of this system, okay, that we don't see, is it distortion from the variation of the radiance of the light that continues and pushes in us to distort? Are we already connecting elsewhere? How would Wi-Fi work if we don't connect to an element? Okay, see, because I don't have the understanding or completion, I only use what I can see in my own reality, because I don't have how exactly something works, so I have to understand how things could possibly work through what I know. life and its existence, the birth and the death. If we can drop the body, can we still think that we're living? If we stop moving, can we still think that we're living? Well, guess what? The complete society of a voice listening to another is living. So yes, it is. It's the living light. That's why it's so bright. See this light over here, so bright as it is? Because it's pushing its energy, and look what happens to its energy at the end. Through it, you don't see that. But the minute it reaches its destination, it brightens up everything, and everything, okay, is talking 512. So why I'm bringing this up is because inside of 512 is right over here. This is 512. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 5, 6, 7, 8. The minute we get 8, we automatically have 13. 1 and 5, 5 and 9, 5 meaning we have birth. B is the Venus world. 12 and 13, the woman and the man, the bar mitzvah and the butz mitzvah. The BAR, angel residency, bringing the BUT, universal transmission, to creation and the crown. The 13th card is a king, but it wasn't always the 13th card. The 13th card at one time was also the king as the 13th card. And also, the king was here before there was a son born. The king was the 11th card. In fact, we needed a crown before we needed anything else. In fact, the induction of the cards are completely different than what we think, other than how we can promote them in the reality of the life we live. I talk a lot of big words. What does it mean? It means what you perceive for your better understanding of your own reality, of whatever exists and what you want it to mean for the life we live, if it betters your world. If it betters your world and I don't hurt anybody and you don't hurt anybody other world for the reality of what we're doing here. And the basic end of everybody's reality is life. So let's see and promote the gates of Omega dividing of the Omega gates of the carrying the bone. If I run into the screen with a bone that's this big, and I run into the screen with a bone that's this big, I'm keeping the world plugged in. I lie down in my bed, I unplug, and I go right through the screen to the other world. And I pick up a different vibration. So putting the bone, the dog's got a bone. His body is this way, the bone is that way. So he's picking up and using as little, I can't even get into this because I don't have the complete vision of it, but the meow, the bark, the roughness, the rough dog bark, tree, grow, Noah, ark, beta, Venus, Venus, ark. 1500s, ark, I can hear from beyond. Ark, I can hear from beyond. Now, ark has been implicated, just like the word F-U-C-S-H-I, and all these words implicated in other words for the vibration of the knowledge of knowing. Now, this is only the English language. I would love to do other languages. I'm not sure which one would vibrate the most, but I do think that Hebrew and Greek and German, in German they use often the E and the I. Very important, because E and I is a representation of the 5th and 9th letter, and E and I is also a representation, E-I-R-V, 55. Bring me down to the river. 6 and 2 Venus, right? First one after A, first one after A, first one after A. That's right, B and F, where there are no black keys, are the first keys after A. A and E are both the same. A and E, and we get B and F. A5, 3, 5. A5, 3, 5. We get 6 and 8. It's a rubbing for the muscle, connecting the rest of the body. We get the Queen. 5, 5, 5 for the river. Queen, 6 and 2, 88. When we come to the 7th gate, if we put together A and F, M and H, 1, 3, and 8, the church. If we put together 2 and 5, we put together the island, L and I, 96. If we put together Jack, DC, 3 and 4 puts together Jack. He puts them through the water world, and the creation is where the dam is. This is Quebec, my friends. This is Quebec, this area over here. This could be New Zealand. It's also Zion, but it is New Zealand because we're under stripes and solids, black and white, and judgment has come. New Zealand, N and Z, 11, 11, 11. Any which way you want, the split in gematria, 11, 11. What is first, what is last? Man, 1, 1, 1. Man, 28, the cycle. Man, 1, 1, 1, 1, 11. 37 average, win a big red sun. M and N, 27, add A, win a big red sun. What is that A? This is the church, my friends, barred together over here in life. Connecting or locking the mind, not letting the mind live in 5, but locking the mind. A, V, V, It means to go. Vav is 6. 1 and 5, 6. Rave is 5 and 1, 6. V, 5 and 1, 6. E, 5, 6, 6, 5, 5, 6, 5. Creation of the 28th cycle. Time and period. P-E-R-I-O is the 10-world passage. When you get I-O-D, Dio, the dual duality world of I, bringing and coming to birth, because that dog bone is the eye of all. You're always running through the center of where your position is. Hey, I walk forward. Do you feel like you're the center of everything? Or behind everything? Are you in the middle of everything, even when you're not surrounded? Questions I ask myself in life, and I come out here and mention them online, and I think after I finish the video, I said that was so stupid what I said. I was so stupid what I said. I shouldn't have said that. And why didn't I say this? And all of a sudden, because I'm reflecting on my own, what I put forth, it gives me an answer and understanding so I can continue on. I always feel like I'm not in the middle of everything, but I'm completely in the back of everything, looking all around me, knowing that I haven't learned everything yet, because if I was in the middle, I'm in the middle looking all around me of my possibilities, but I know I'm at the back of the class because I got to know what's in front.